Anakin Skywalker was a slave to the spiritual hamster wheel, as are we all. In the third prequel movie, Revenge of the Sith, a scene takes place in Padme's apartment where Anakin confesses, "I'm not the Jedi I should be. I want more. I shouldn't, but I do." We are driven by dissatisfaction, each of us, by our pleasure-oriented, dopamine-oriented reward system, and by our oxytocin-oriented meaning reward system. In other words, dopamine has us shoving pain and reaching for pleasure, and oxytocin has us seeking meaning in our relationships, professional, personal, platonic, and intimate. Now, these are biological necessities. These are a constant, an evolutionary constant in all complex life forms. So don't let some glazed-eyed, slack-jawed, mouth-breathing knuckle-dragger tell you that the reason you have this is because you believe in a self. This is not belief-oriented. You can't have belief without a fully functional prefrontal cortex. And this is older than just the simians. This is mammalian. This is reptilian. This is an ancient configuration. This reminds me of Morpheus's line from The Matrix. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. The Buddha recognized this. He forsook his role as a prince and his abode in a palace where every pleasure was at his beck and call. He forsook this to become a homeless mendicant, the prize student of two teachers, the king of the ascetics, the solitary yogi. And it was then that he realized these four noble truths. Let's explore them from a certain point of view. There are stressors. This is a biological fact. Some of these stressors are circumstantial, some are physical, some are interpersonal, some are mental. But they exist. They are not figments of our imagination. We evolved the ability to perceive stressors, not so that some sadistic celestial entity could torture us, but to increase the probability of our survival and the survival of our species. This is not a flaw. This is a feature of our programming. The second noble truth, from a certain point of view, is exacerbation. Whatever stress we experience is made worse because we're wired to shove against anything we find painful, such as anything that would undermine our role in the propitiation of our species, such as scarcity, pain, scorn, and anonymity. We are wired to crave safety, pleasure, and love, and respect. These things are not mere fancies of pride. In order for an individual to make sure that his or her genes are passed on to the next generation, in any herd and any pack and any tribe, those with the best mating opportunities and the greatest chance for survival are those who are the most loved and the most respected. So once again, this is not a fancy of poor metaphysics. This is baked into the cake. Fortunately, the third Noble Truth reminds us that there is a way to experience freedom from the tyranny of these evolutionary drives. They'll still be there, but they will no longer control our choices or our utterances or our deeds. The fourth noble truth names the path as the Eightfold Path. And we're going to look at this eights for those of us who evolved to have only 5 digits per hand. 8 is an overwhelming number. Fortunately, it divides into 3 subsections. The first section is contemplation. So there is a liberating view that helps us to let go. There's a liberating intention that is compassionate and loving. Fortunately, we have a prefrontal cortex which can recognize change and interdependence, which is great. Fortunately, we have an anterior cingulate gyrus just a few inches behind our forehead that's wired for empathy, and that's a very good thing. The next 3 bits of the path pertain not to contemplation, but to actual action. Kind communication, kind conduct, and kind commerce. Don't let it escape your notice that 50% of the Eightfold Path pertains to loving kindness. The remaining portion of the path is about practice, about meditation. Enthusiastic practice of both mindfulness, which is made possible due to the autonomic nervous system that we access. Due to the sympathetic nervous system that we automatically access during each inhalation, and meditation consisting of both physical relaxation and mental release, which is made possible due to the parasympathetic nervous system, which is accessed automatically during each exhalation. So the entirety of this, each of us, due to the caprice of evolution, are already neurologically equipped with the tools we need to both practice the Eightfold Path, which is a metaphor of, which is liberation, and to master this path, which is enlightenment. And that begs the question, what do we mean by master the path? Well, as a child, when I was learning how to tie my shoes, it was an arduous mystery. Now I can tie my shoes without even thinking about it. You too. Mastery of anything, including the Buddha's techniques, means we practice it. We've grown so skillful with it that we practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. There are 2 facets to practicing the Eightfold Path. The physical facet of just learning how to sit in a sustainable, comfortable, and upright manner. And this can be mastered in 5-minute increments, beginning with 5 minutes twice a day the first week, progressing to 10 minutes twice a day the second week, 15 minutes twice a day the third week, and by the conclusion of the 12th week, you could be very comfortable sitting for 60 minutes every 12 hours or so. That's the physical facet. The mental facet is simply getting comfortable with the vulnerability of mindfulness and the relaxation of meditation. You can master that in less than 7 years, or 7 quarters, or 7 months, or 7 fortnights, or 7 weeks, or even 7 days. So theoretically, if you came to a live stream every 12 hours or so, which are completely free, ask whatever questions occur to you during your class, trained methodically in learning how to sit comfortably and sustainably, then within 13 weeks, you could be the next living Buddha. That won't mean you're a supernatural being. That won't mean you'll be able to fart lightning bolts. But it will mean you'll be the happy, healthy, well-adjusted adult that your dog already thinks you are. I look forward to chanting and meditating with you this morning after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and then reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Taoism and Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. This morning, let us return to the sadhana version of the Song of Enlightenment composed by Yong Jie in 8th century China, translated by Red Pine into English, adapted and amplified by yours truly. Let us remind ourselves of right aspirations, right views, and right zeals, second, first, and sixth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, by chanting empathetic bodhicitta and enthusiastic refuge, not as a prayer to a real or imagined celestial entity, but as a technique for strengthening the neural pathways responsible for intention. Our first version, we're going to play with two versions. The first version is more literal, and we're setting it to a triplet chant. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on thee. Buddha's example, instructions, and students. These three nouns are so useful to spiritual practice that over the centuries they earned the metaphoric nickname of the three wish-fulfilling jewels, like Aladdin's lamp. This brings us to the second version of this practice, which is more concise and more figurative. We're going to set it to the bookend chant, which is the go-to chant of the entire practice, or the majority of the practice. So let us chant this thrice. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. As children, most likely the first bicycle we received had training wheels, which, although were clunky, got the job done. This morning's first contemplative exercise is likewise ungainly. During our inhalation, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to generate a vertical traction between our tush and our head. Second, we're going to silently and mentally recite, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. During our exhalation, again, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to physically relax as best we can in the moment. And second, we're going to silently and mentally recite an additional 12-syllable phrase, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. No, Virginia, this is not an affirmation, for this deals not with belief, but with the facts of neuroscience that are self-evident in our own bodies. Let's chant. Do you not see apparently idle followers of the way? Not actively studying, not apparently busy, not actively getting rid of delusions, not actively looking for the truth. The true nature of their ignorance is the same as their aware, laid back and loving Buddha nature. Their illusory empty bodies are the Dharma bodies of the mastery of awareness and release. Their Dharma body they realize does not include a graspable thing. Their original nature is the primordial Buddha's awareness, letting go and love. It is as if the five skandhas are for feeling, intensity, impulse, and awareness, were as non-graspable as clouds floating aimless in the sky. The three poisons of hating, craving, and clinging, like mere bubbles, are appearing then gone. Seeing what is real, doing the perceptive inhalations, but not as graspable persons or things. During the relaxing exhalations, they instantly quench the fires of hell. Meanwhile, those who deceive others with lies denigrating Buddha's quick path deserve to spend kalpas having their tongues torn out. Instant understanding is thus come one tathagata meditation. Every practice and perfection is present in your body's tissues, facilitating awareness and release. There are many synonyms for Buddha. Tathagata is one of many. This is passive existence, look real and a dream. Once you're awake, the whole graspable universe is gone. No punishments or blessings, nothing lost or gained. As for the heart of nirvana, do not ask for directions. Regarding that unpolished, dust-covered mirror, it is time you took a closer look at the preconceptions of the minions of Yang. What's going on here? There we go. Who has no thoughts, who is not born? What truly is not born is not born. Ask a tailless, thoughtless mannequin made of wood. How is the quest for Buddhahood coming? Now let us remove the first of two metaphoric training wheels, reducing the length of our contemplative exercise from 12 syllables per breath down to just 3. And as such, right now, let us practice Satipassati's mindfulness and meditation, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, during our inhalation, by silently and mentally reciting, notice this, and during our exhalation, by silently and mentally reciting, relaxing. Oops. Together. Let go your grip on the material world. Let go your grip on the material world. In the haunt of nirvana, eat and drink or feel fear from the tyranny of chasing and fleeing. This correlates deeply to this morning's lesson. There's a wonderful phrase from the first season of Altered Carbon, and I'm going to paraphrase it. We are emissaries. We accept what is given. What does that mean? It means they do not flee what is given. They do not chase something hoping it will be given. For us, I would say we should add the adjective. We empathetically receive what is given. We receive what is given in a way that is harmless and sustainable. Practices are ephemeral. Everything experienced during a relaxing exhalation could feel as if it is empty. This is the path of perfect enlightenment of the Buddhas. Okay, that was a lot of editing, so let's take from the top. Let go your grip on the material world. In the heart of nirvana, eat and drink your fill free from the tyranny of... In the heart of nirvana, sustainably eat and drink your fill free from the tyranny of chasing and fleeing. Practices are ephemeral. Everything experienced during or relaxing exhalation could feel as if it is as non-graspable as a vast empty void. This is the path of the perfect enlightenment of the Buddhas. Speaking with conviction is a sign of a true monk. Those unable indulge in asking questions. The big picture thinking of severing roots is what marks a Buddha. Picking through the leaves and twigs of mastering minutia is not for me. People do not notice the wish-fulfilling jewel among jewels, waiting for them in the Buddha nature's Tathagata Dharma. Its sixfold power is neither empty nor not. Its perfect light neither visible nor not. We purify the five roots of hating, craving, confusion, competing, and clinging by that we passively notice during our inhalation, and acquire the five abilities of the wisdoms that are mirror like discerning, basic, all accomplishing, and we equalizing as we relax into our exhalation. Only then will you know what cannot be measured. An image in a mirror is not hard to see, but try to grab the moon in the water. Setting out alone, walking alone, those who arrive take the Nirvana road. Their appearance ancient, the manner detached, rugged and gaunt, they are not noticed. Disciples without means, they are called poor, poor in possessions but not in freedom. Being poor, of course they wear hemp, their practice is treasuring the jewel within. Now let us remove the second of two metaphoric training wheels, thus reducing the length of our contemplative exercise from 3 syllables per breath down to just 1. Thus, we can relax into dhyanas, mindfulness and meditation. During our inhalation, by silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this, and during our exhalation, by silently and mentally reciting the monosyllabic verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. The priceless wish of healing, jewel of noticing and releasing with inexhaustible uses. It never withholds its help or response. The 3 bodies and 4 insights are present within. The 8 freedoms and 6 powers all mark the mind. Together. The priceless wish of hitting true, of noticing and releasing with inexhaustible uses, never withholds his help or response. The 3 bodies of the mastery of awareness and letting go, bliss and letting go, as well as love and letting go. And 4 insights of stress, empathy, change, and not self are present within. The 8 freedoms and 6 powers all mark the mind. Gifted people embrace it all concerning the way at once. Lesser minds hero but are not enthusiastic. Thinking about the superficialities of changing their clothes, they claim they are making incremental progress. Let people mock and others speak ill of Buddha's quick path. Let them tire themselves out trying to burn the sky. Hearing the words is like tasting sweet dew. I swallow and suddenly enter the inconceivable. There will come moments when we feel great resistance to the circumstantial or physical or interpersonal or mental. When that happens, dig deep, take a deeper inhalation, experience greater vulnerability to the grotesquerie of the present moment. And as you begin your exhalation, swallow. And it'll feel like you're kicking open the door to greater release. In hateful woods I see a chance for merit. They have become my closest advisors, not letting ridicule make enemies of friends. I show the power of accepting that nothing is born in harmony with my exhalation. Know the words and know the source. Do not over-focus on the emptiness of wisdom's light of perception and cessation. This is not something I alone have learned. Countless Buddhas have realized this too. The lion roars and speaks without fear. Lesser beasts hear and cower in fright. The elephant sees a rampaging way. Sky dragons listen in silent rapture. Now that we've reached our contemplative cruising altitude, together as a team, let's meditate as transformatively as Ray on Octo under the guidance of Luke. Together, let us relax into the Great Seal. I have traveled great rivers, crossed mountains and streams, seeking teachers and masters to better understand meditation. Ever since taking the Cow River road, I have discovered life and death have no hold on me. Ever since taking the Cow River Road, I have discovered that by relaxing into my exhalation, it feels as if life and death have no hold on me. Walking is meditation, sitting is meditation, speaking or silent, moving or still, I am at peace. Even at knife point I notice and release, thus I remain unmoved. Even the three mental poisons cannot permanently affect me. Before my teacher, the Buddha Medipankara, he spent kalpas as Kshanti the ascetic. How many births, so many deaths, births and deaths go on without end. Since I certainly realize that nothing is as graspable as if it had been born, I treat fame and shame the same. How many? Oops, let's go back. Together, how many births, so many deaths, births and deaths go on without end. Since suddenly I realize that nothing is as graspable as if it was myself or had been born, I treat fame and shame the same. I moved to a mountain and found a quiet place, deep and secluded beneath tall pines. An outsider monk, I enjoy sitting still. Settled at last, I am truly at peace. Those who are awake do not engage in manipulatively giving gifts. In a world of conditioned things, however, it is different. Giving alms from a good rebirth, one is still attached to form. You may as well shoot an arrow into the sky. Its momentum split, an arrow falls back to earth, resulting in another disappointing life. Unlike inhalations, awareness, and exhalations release, which is like the door to the real and unconditioned. Once you step through, you are in the Buddha realm. Allow me to remind you that the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us now relax into Suttara Mahamudra. I ignore the twigs and look for the root, the jewel of the moon in pure aquamarine. Once you grab this wish-fulfilling pearl of inhalations, awareness, and exhalations release, it's up to you when others never ends. Moon on the river and wind in the pines, how has interdependence cleared the sky all night? The pull of the Buddha nature, precepts of inhalations, awareness, and exhalations release. The pearl of the nature, the pearl of the Buddha nature, precepts of love-centered spontaneity, mark the mind whilst mist and clouds shroud the body. The pearl of the moon and nature, precepts of love, scented spontaneity, deeply mark the mind while mist and cloud superficially shroud the body. My greedy dragon subduing bone, and my hateful tiger calming staff, with his 2 rings echoing on the trail. It is not for pointing out the mundane, but for pointing out the tracks left by the Tathagata's precious staff of non-violence. Do not search for the truth and do not dismiss delusion. Realize both are empty and have no form. No form but neither empty nor not empty. That is the Tathagata's real form of even letting go of grasping's antidote. Nothing obstructs the mirror of the mind, illuminating a universe of countless realms, where millions of images appear, neither inside nor outside the perfect light. Saying everything is empty, they dismiss the laws of karma. Such recklessness of relying on impulsiveness rather... Take 2. Such recklessness of relying on impulsiveness rather than love is sure to bring misfortune. Renouncing existence for emptiness is the same as jumping into a fire to escape a flood. Let us relax into Chan. Letting delusions go and grasping the truth. The so-called letting go, grasping mind is a master of disguise. Students unaware take this for their only practice. Mistake a thief for the child, forgetting that grasping at the truth is still grasping. Reducing your Dharma wealth or cancelling your merit invariably results from discriminations of the mind. Reducing your Lama wealth or cancelling your merit invariably results from discriminations of the mind that stray from the simplicity of this. That is why in meditation we set the mind aside. We use the power of exhalations, relaxation, instead, thus accepting that nothing is born. The great Bodhisattva Manjushri holding the figurative sword of wisdom, with his wisdom Prajna blade in its indestructible diamond like Vajra flames. Not only did he cut through the mind of heretics, he first ended martyrs' brazen ways. He shook his Dharma thunder and beat his Dharma drum. He spread clouds of compassion and showers of sweet dew. The trumpeting of elephants covered the world with moisture. Whatever the path or lineage, everyone woke up despite the elitism of sectarianism. Naturally occurring Himalayan butter with nothing added. It alone produces my favorite ghee. The nature of noticing and releasing that pervades all natures of shoving and reaching. The Dharma that includes all Dharmas. A single moon is reflected in every drop of water. Within every water drop is held a single moon. Every Buddha's Dharma body is my nature. My nature is one with every Tathagata. Let us relax into Proto-Zen. At every stage all searches are present, but not in formal mind and not in what you do. Snap your fingers and countless dharma doors appear. 3 kalpas go by in an instant. As for all statements being no statements, that means nothing to this enlightened nature of mind that is while you're to notice, let go, and love. It cannot be slandered and it cannot be praised. Like space, it has no boundaries. It is never not present and always clear, but actively look and you cannot see it. You cannot actively grab it, you cannot actively let it go. When you cannot find it, that is when you will find it. It speaks when it is silent, it is silent when it speaks. When the gate of gifts opens, nothing stands in its way. People ask what is the source of my understanding, I tell them. The power of the great wisdom that comes from inhalations, awareness, and exhalations, release. If it is right or wrong, nobody knows. If it makes sense or not, even the gods cannot tell. I have been practicing this for kalpas, and not just to make people confused. Flying the Dharma flag, announcing the school's doctrine. Clearly the Buddha's teaching is at Shaoxi. Kachapa was the first to transmit the lamp, the first of 28 generations in the West. The Dharma traveled east and reached this land. Bodhidharma was our first patriarch. The first of 6 to wear the robe and spread the word. Those who understood latter were countless. Let us relax into the great coalescence. We do not define the truth, delusions are already empty. We define what is and what is not, but we do not empty emptiness. It's 20 different kinds. It's 20 different kinds of no concern of us. We share the universal Tathagata nature of awareness, letting go and love. The mind is a sense organ and objects are its Let's try this again. The minions of Yang have taught the mind as a sense organ and its objects are its sensations. Think of them as streaks on a mirror, and finally shining when the streaks are gone. The minions of Yang have taught the mind is a sense organ and its objects are its sensations. Think of the streaks on the mirror, and light finally shining when the streaks are gone. But the minions of Yin insist forget the mind and objects. It is your nature that is important. It is an evil age and the Dharma is ending. People are not happy and lack self-control. Ignoring this age, they prefer mistaken views. Martyr becomes stronger as their hatred multiplies. Hearing about the Buddha's sudden teaching, they wish they could grind it into rubber like captured crabs, bitterly undermining each other's escape. What needlessly arduous path the mind creates, the body suffers or injures. No need to claim injustice or shift the blame. If you are hoping to avoid the endless fire like stresses of karma's folly, do not forsake the Tathagatas to teaching of inhalations, awareness, and exhalations release. In a forest of nothing but sandalwood trees, where it is lush and remote lions dwell. In the sylvan-wooded quiet their roam where they will. Other beasts, even birds, keep the distance. Lion cubs all trail behind. By the time they are three, they can roar. Foxes who follow the Dharma King, after lifetimes of mischief they can only yap. Now let us relax into Mahasandhi. The sudden teaching is free of sentimentalities, elitism. As long as doubts remain, arguments swallow. This mountain monk is not just banging his drum. He cares who might fall into the nothing or forever trap of relying exclusively on awareness or release. No or not no, yes or not yes. To miss by an inch is the same as 1,000 miles. Yes, and a dragon maiden suddenly became a Buddha. No, and soon Nakshatrabi fell into her life. I learned a lot when I was young. I read sutras and shastras and studied commentaries. The name sentence never seemed to end. Like counting grains of sand in the sea, it was such a waste of effort. Scolded by the Tata, what good is counting others' treasures? I realized all my efforts had been in vain. All the years I had wasted braving dust and wind. Misguided from the start, my understanding wrong. I did not know how the Buddha's sudden teaching worked. Why devotees of lesser past did not see the way. Why unbelievers may be clever but not wise. They are so foolish, so stupid, pointing to their palm and to explain what is real. Mistaking a finger for the moon as they take figurative statements as literal. Turning objects of the senses into ghost stories as they forsake awareness and cling to release. Now let us relax into the great completion stage. Who does not see a thing is truly graspable as a Tathagata, hence the name looking from on high. Those who understand the lessons of perception and release are free of karmic burdens. Those who do not still have old debts to pay. A hunger that keeps them from being satisfied by even a royal meal. A sickness not even a great physician can cure. To meditate despite the presence of desire is the power of prajna. And why a lotus is not burned in a fire. Yongshi committed crimes and realized nothing is born. He became a Buddha and is still one today. When the lion roars its fearless teaching, it pities confused, obstinate fools who only see offenses that prevent Buddhahood. Blind to the secret that the Tathagata revealed of the efficacy of awareness and release. 2 monks were guilty of crime, so Judge Pali with his firefly light. Layman Vimalakirti dismissed the doubts as the sun melts the snow. Inconceivable is the power of liberation. Its uses as countless as the Ganges grains of sand. Who would not give every possible offering, such as 10,000 ounces of gold, but even one's flesh and blood would fall short? The unsurpassed king of all dharmas, realized by more Buddhas than the Ganges has grains of sand. This wish of filling true I have revealed. May all who accept it do the same. Let us slice through the duality of dread and desire. Look around, there is not a thing to be permanently grasped. There are no people, there are no Buddhas. All the worlds in the universe are like bubbles in the sea. All the sages unworthy or as fleeting as mere lightning. Even if an iron railroad across my skull, meditation's wisdom light would still shine. Those the sun turned cold and the moon turned warm. Not even an army of demons can destroy the truth. This is important. We are experiencing the ancient curse, may you live in interesting times. We're living in a time again where fascism is ruling its head, and much as George Orwell warned, people with authority and people with power are just denying reality, telling bold-faced lies that we can sometimes reject at our own peril. When an elephant pulls a cart up a mountain, has anyone seen a mantis block its way? Elephants do not follow rabbit trails. Enlightenment is not confined by minor rules. Do not vilify the sky when you are looking at it through a reed. If you still do not understand, this is for you. Let us relax into Trek Show's slice through the duality of dread and desire. For the remainder of our recitations, let's go through quickly that we might be energized and not stumble through the rest of our day in lethargy. May all beings practice have kind communication, conduct, and calmness, spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. I look forward to returning to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice in approximately, that's odd, 9 2/3 hours. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.